Hey everyone, Leon Gregory from Brookfield, Wisconsin, and we're starting to warm up here a little bit. Just got out of the car; it was 10 degrees above zero, and much better than when we got home from Miami yesterday, when it was minus 12. And which leads me into my discussion. I'm sure many of you out there have flown, and taken an airplane someplace, and we usually fly someplace about every 3 months. And, trying to pick the right airline and find the right airline, it's been a real difficult thing. There's a couple of airlines we just absolutely will not fly, refuse to, no matter how low their price is. And I won't be naming any names here, but I'm sure some of you out there that have felt the frustrations of flight travel. And this weekend we flew down to Miami, and what a city! It's a pretty crazy city, I tell you that. And but it didn't start out too well. And because since they charge nowadays and that for if you want to put a suitcase on the airplane. And I mean, and my wife Tammy and I, we used to travel with one big suitcase, put all of our stuff in there, check it on the airline, and hey, we were good to go. But now that they changed everything and charge you an arm and a leg to take one suitcase along, we both take our own suitcases so we can store them in the overhead. Well, we're getting ready to leave Milwaukee, and they're announcing we need 15 suitcases, that, the flight is going to be, is all booked, and, not going to be a lot of room in the overheads, and do not put your coats in the overheads and everything else. So they got their 15 suitcases, and that's so we thought we were okay. Well, for some reason, the last few times we've flown, we end up in zone 3, which are the last people on the plane. And, so as we're standing in line, getting ready to board, they start coming down the line and telling us all, you have to check your suitcases. There's no more room on the plane. And, and I'm like, BS, what are you trying to pull on us now? So they took another 20 or so suitcases, It kind of turned out as a mixed blessing. I mean, yes, we wanted to keep them because, when you're traveling someplace, you want to make sure you got clothes to change into, and sometimes, airlines are a little messy that way. And coming home, it's no big deal because you got a whole house full of clothes, and you can pick up the suitcase at the airport anytime when it comes in. But when you're going someplace and you just don't want to be there with the clothes you got on, and so, we voiced our displeasure and everything, but it didn't matter. They took 25 more suitcases, 20 to 25 more suitcases, and they told us, because you're the last aboard, we can take your suitcases. How? I'm sorry, that's just not right. That's not right. And so anyhow, we get on the airplane, and we're sitting, and when we're getting ready to get off the airplane, we're watching, there were 4 flight attendants on this airplane. And in past flights, we've seen flight attendants tell people, no, you can't you got one up there already, you can't put another one up there. Well, we saw at least, minimum, 20 coats come out of the overhead when they were told no coats in the overhead until all the suitcases are packed. And then we saw people taking two things out of the overheads, nothing from underneath their seats. The guy across the aisle from us took out one suitcase above his head, another suitcase above ours, and then took out his coat too. It's like, what the heck were these flight attendants doing? So my wife and I were thinking about it. What can we do to change this? Well, first of all, we know we can work our way up to where we can get into first class. And that we know the second thing that we'll be able to do down the road here a little bit is, why not just rent a jet? Why mess with this airport crap and everything else? Let's just rent a jet, get on it, go get where we're going, no stops, no layovers, and be done with it. In the long run, it's going to be cheaper because, for us to get down to Miami, which would have been, I think, a 3.5-hour flight, took us 5 hours. and that's 6 hours, and that, ridiculous to sit in an airport and that. Although we did go to Atlanta, and since we're both smokers, they got smoking law. You can smoke in Atlanta's airport. Um, so anyhow, what I'm using for part of the solution, and then I'm going to have a link down below in the description. If you're frustrated with flight travel and you're looking for a better way to maybe make some extra money to get up into first class or preferred seating or whatever, take a look at it. See if it's for you. If it's not, let me know anyhow. I might have a couple other things that you might want to look at. No guarantees on anything. So Leon Gregory signing off. Kind of glad. No, I am glad to be home, but I do miss the warmer weather. I am ready. I'm ready for winter to be done. So, Leon signing off. Have a great day.